As I continue my journey to become a portrait and headshot photographer, I've been reaching out to some models and people who want to collaborate. And Cara was very, very graceful in responding to me because I find not a lot of people get responses. So I'm always super happy that people want to work and collab with me. Uh, so she is not only an aspiring model, but she's also an actress. So she wanted to do some headshots that would serve her well in applying for some agencies and getting herself out there. So we both took on the challenge to try to create something meaningful. And I think for me, the headshots was the first bit. And headshots are very interesting because you can think that there isn't much room for creativity, but there is, right? And I think headshots are one of these things where once you get your formula down, once you know what your studio lighting is supposed to look like or what you want it to look like, once you know how you are going to crop for most of your headshots, that cohesiveness in your portfolio. And once you know how you want to direct your talent and how you want them to appear in their headshots. You guys had that conversation. I think you can say that it's relatively a copy and paste thing, but I'm very much in the beginnings of this. I don't know any of this stuff, right? Like I'm still working to figure it out. So again, much like a lot of my earlier sessions, my earlier photo shoots, this is a 4 light setup, and I'll be happy to tell you now that it's overkill. um, and looking back at this, because I always review my work as I'm coming up. I have a few sessions booked. I'll go back to my more recent sessions and look back and say, okay, what were my lessons to be learned here? What could I do better? What were my areas of opportunity? And looking in her eyes, it's too busy, and that's because it's I've got 2 lights in front of her. I've got a key and a fill. It's too much. And then also, if you look to the left, you'd see there's a hair slash edge light, and then to the right there's a hair slash edge light. It's too much. But nonetheless, I think I would now define this body of work as flat. There's no real dimension to it. Even though I'm running these lights in a, geez, what is the config? Is it a 1:4 ratio? I don't like the look anymore. And that's okay. This is why we practice, because you do everything under the sun and then you're like, oh, actually I don't like that, right? But working with Cara was cool. Most of my intention here was getting to know intimately how to direct someone for headshots. It's quite difficult because everyone's face is different. Their facial structure is different. The neck, the body, it's all different. The body language, the posture. So getting to really a point where I felt comfortable troubleshooting with her, so I can have her portray the best of herself in these images was the intent. And she was great at taking direction. And then there was a lot of like her actress spice that was in there, because based on my research, what I've learned about actors' headshots, and they need headshots quite often. So it's a pretty lucrative business to be in if you're a headshot photographer. You want to have the actor assume the role that they want to go after. And she was looking for these very like a principal, like a prominent businesswoman, right? Like an influential figure. And that's kind of what I was trying to pull out of her. And a lot of these shots I think did pull it off. And a lot of these shots, like this one here, I would say if I could do it again, I probably would not have had her exaggerate the look toward the key that much. In fact, I'd have her angle her body. Here it is, right? Here's a different take on that. I'd have her angle her body toward the key, but bring the chin back toward me. And that'll give me a little bit of a jawline. But even in that, here's another opportunity where I can see the jawline a little bit. So for me, it was learning these things. And this particular shot right here, I quite like. But the miss for me was she wasn't looking into the camera, right? Um, there's so much about it, like, man. And let's be clear here. She loved this image, particularly this one. Uh, Her feedback to me was, this is who she is. Like, her friends, her family, they're gonna see this photo and be like, wow, this is you. And she said she'd never seen herself captured so authentic in a photo shoot before, in a portrait session. And I was very happy to hear that. But for me, it's a miss because she's not looking at the camera. So we're missing that eye contact, right? We're missing that conversation with the eyes, as if, hey, I'm having a laugh with a friend or family member, right? So there's so much room for me to improve on. And again, yeah, you see the edge lighting with the hair light. You see a little bit of it on the shoulder, on the left side, well, on the right shoulder. But for me, it's just distracting. The 4 light setup is just, not only is it a lot of work to set up and dial in, but I'm not using it to its proper intent, and it's a distraction. What I liked about her was she took direction, but she was always willing to try something new. She wanted to be creative, and that was cool because that gave me more opportunities to exercise and get some reps in. What's interesting, I purchased a book from Amazon that had some poses in it. This book was super dope. Maybe I'll do a little video on that book. It reminded me of, when you go to the barbershop and they've got like the different styles on the wall, and you'd be like, yeah, let me get that number 12. Right? Like, this book was like that. So she was sitting there flipping through the book, and she was like, okay, let's try this. I was like, oh man, this is cool. Like, I thought I bought the book just for me to like get an understanding of posing, and then how I can, put my spin on it. And I mentioned to her, yeah, I've been looking at this book and I got some things I want to try. And she was like, well, let me look at the book, right? Like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. Ultimately, I think we got like probably 2 or 3 good images from this that are decent headshots. A lot of room for improvement for me. The 4 lights gotta go. I need to do a better job with the posing, the chin, the jawline, the neck. Although I don't think I did terrible. I think I need to pay attention to the camera height and the plane of her eyes. Like, this one definitely wasn't terrible. Because it's more, the camera's a little lower, so it gives her this prominent this prominent look, this importance, which is what we were going for. But I'll tell you, that was completely by accident, right? So these are things that I've since been paying more attention to, especially since I've been shooting. I shot one or two sessions with the 50, and the 50 millimeter focal length is such a weird thing. Like, if you don't get that eye level down correct, things look very different. And not different in a bad way. It's just, you got to make sure they look like what you want them to look like, right? But one of the things, the biggest takeaways from this was, I need to figure out here. And as an editorial photographer, it's a team sport. You're gonna have someone there that's dealing with hair. But for me, trying to get my practice in, I don't have anyone that's dealing with hair. And as much as I try to like pay attention to hair and have the subject, get it under control as much as possible, it's still wild. And as the shoot goes on, it's sort of like, what am I gonna do? I'll try to fix it in post. Fail. There's so many shots that I did not deliver to her that I think were strong shots, because as we went on in the shoot, we got better, we hit our stride, but like the hair just got worse, and I could not edit it, and it was a bummer. It was a bummer. So the takeaway for me was, pay attention to hair, try to get it under control as much as possible. But also, I may have to get a retoucher. I'm gonna have to get somebody who that's their job. They know how to deal with hair in post. But yeah, I mean, this is a very meaningful post session for me. I know that I have what it takes to be a headshot photographer. I know I have what it takes to direct to direct a subject, to get them to relax, to get them into the positions I need them to be, to accentuate the features that are best, that brings out their best qualities. But I really needed this shoot in order for me to see like where my areas of opportunity exist. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I like to say, as always, time is the most valuable resource that we have, and I do not take it lightly that you shared some of yours here with me today. Like the video if you like it, hit the subscribe button. Down in the description, you will find links to all of the equipment that I use to create these videos and what I use to just create in general. So I always appreciate your help on some affiliate links. And yeah, my name is Ramon, and I'm out of here. Peace.